Look at what you're wearing right now. Shirt, pants, maybe a jacket. You've never once thought about how any of that works. You just put it on. But 50,000 years ago, the ability to make something fit, to take two pieces of animal skin and join them so cold air couldn't get through, was the difference between your ancestors surviving the Ice Age or disappearing from the planet entirely. And it all came down to one object, so small you could lose it in your pocket. Here's what most people don't know about the Ice Age. It wasn't just cold. Temperatures in Siberia dropped to -40. Glaciers covered land where cities now stand. Early humans were pushing north into this world, following animals, getting colder every generation. And they had a problem. They had fur, but fur wasn't enough. Neanderthals had lived in cold Europe for hundreds of thousands of years. Physically, they were built for it. Stockier bodies, more muscle, bigger noses to warm the air they breathed. They had fire. They had animal skins. But researcher Mark Collard at Simon Fraser University analyzed thousands of animal bones from sites across Europe and found something that changed everything we thought we knew about why Neanderthals disappeared. Neanderthals draped skins around themselves, like a cape, like a blanket with a hole for your head. That works at -10. It doesn't work at -40. Because a cape has gaps, wind finds every opening. Cold air rushes in, body heat rushes out. In temperatures that cold, you don't just get uncomfortable. You die. Now, here's the part nobody expects. The oldest sewing needle ever found wasn't made by Homo sapiens. In 2016, archaeologists excavating Denisova Cave in the Altai Mountains of Siberia found a needle carved from a bird bone. 7 centimeters long, a perfectly formed hole at one end for thread. It was 50,000 years old. Professor Mikhail Shunkov of the Institute of Archaeology and Ethnography in Novosibirsk said, "As of today, it is the most ancient needle in the world." And here's the detail that should stop you cold. That cave was occupied at different times by 3 different human species: Denisovans, Neanderthals, and Homo sapiens. 3 species, same cave, same cold. Only one of them left needles. Think about what a needle actually does. It's not just a sharp point. The eye, that tiny hole, changes everything. Thread goes through the eye. Thread pulls 2 pieces of material together, and suddenly you can make something that fits. Not a cape. A sleeve that closes around your wrist. A boot that seals at the ankle. A hood that ties shut around your face. No gaps. No wind. Your body heat trapped inside. A study published in the Journal of Anthropological Archaeology found that the appearance of bone needles in archaeological sites around 40,000 years ago directly corresponds with the moment early humans began successfully colonizing northern latitudes, places too cold to survive in before. The needle didn't just make clothing, it opened up an entire hemisphere. So, here's what actually happened. Neanderthals, stronger, better adapted to cold, with hundreds of thousands of years of experience in Europe, couldn't get past -40. Their capes let the wind in. And Homo sapiens, moving into the same territory, had a needle. Not a weapon, not a bigger brain, not a physical advantage of any kind. A piece of bone with a hole in it. With that needle, they made gloves that closed at the wrist, boots that sealed at the ankle, layered parkas with hoods that tied shut. They built a portable environment around their own bodies, one they could carry wherever they went. Into Siberia, across a land bridge into Alaska, down through the Americas. Every continent humans reached during the Ice Age was reached by people wearing fitted, sewn clothing. That needle sitting in a museum in Novosibirsk, 7 centimeters of bird bone, 50,000 years old, still sharp enough to use today, is the reason you exist where you exist. Not a war, not a conquest, not some grand moment of heroism. Someone sat down with a piece of bone and made a hole in it, and that hole decided where the human race could live. The next time you zip up your jacket against the cold, you're finishing something someone started 50,000 years ago.